Like what we have at the Arboretum in Washington, D.C. That's one of the brick ovens. That's exactly what that is. Yeah, they already started their event. Oh, it's right there. For heaven's sakes, let's go. We drove right by it. They said this is event parking, but I'm sorry, we're gonna go see the memorial. That's just the way it is. We're gonna do it. And then they can have the parking. Can't be taking all the parking. This is a big car. My goodness. Hi, Gloria. Good to see you. You're just in time for the Suffragette Memorial. And you might enjoy going back and seeing this video because we had a great time going to see the peep displays at the at Occoquan, Virginia. It was really cool. It really was. Okay, I'm not going to use the gimbal because the praying you're having a better day today. Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad. Good, good, good. I'm glad y'all had lunch together. I know that was nice. Oh, boy, this is pretty. Sorry, it's going to be a little bouncy. No gimbal. But see, there's the... where they bake the bricks, they lay them all up inside of that. It's a big old chimney. We can't get close to the ones in the Arboretum, so I really would like to see that actually up closer. Oh, this is beautiful. And they're trying to erase women. I don't know where these men think that they're going to be getting the next generation from if they erase women. So this is a good time to come and see the Suffragette Memorial. Yeah, the big brick furnace. So, silent for suffrage. The fence you see in front of you once surrounded the White House grounds. Oh. As pictured here in this picture. Can you imagine standing silently beside these fence posts, drenched in rain, holding a heavy banner in your hand, while looking directly at President Woodrow Wilson? For several months in 1917, protesters known as Silent Sentinels stood beside this fence and demanded President Wilson support a constitutional amendment enfranchising women. After the U.S. entered World War I, public opinion turned against the picketers, and the women were attacked by crowds. Law enforcement arrested the picketers for obstructing traffic and sent many of them to the Occoquan Workhouse in Lorton, Virginia. Oh my goodness. The prisoners, including suffragist leaders Alice Paul and Lucy Burns, continued their protests through hunger strikes and endured brutal forced feedings. After stories of such harsh treatment filled the newspapers, the prisoners were released. Later denying that the protesters influenced him, President Wilson voiced his support for a federal suffrage amendment in 1918. I'll be darned. They made a movie out of that. Wow. Mr. President, what will you do for women's suffrage? Well, we know what Biden will do. He will try to eliminate us and have cross-dressing men be women. Pretty weird, isn't it? Everything that these women fought for us, that we've had, and now they're trying to erase us. It's very strange. 3 National Women's Party picketers from New York wearing slickers hold banners outside in the rain. The photographs you see here of the White House fence is the same one in front of you. This section of the fence surrounded the White House for over 200 years. Records of the National Women's Party, 1917, Library of Congress. Wow. These courageous women. That's courageous people right there. No matter how you look at it, women or man, that's courageous. You know, whether that was men standing there facing the mobs of people that didn't like it, or women standing there, that's frightening. And these women are heroes. Sounds like what they did to J6ers, right? The flag of the National Women's Party. Purple is the color of loyalty, constancy to purpose, unswerving steadfastness to a cause. White, the emblem of purity, symbolizes the quality of our purpose, and gold, the color of light and life, is as the torch that guides our purpose, pure and unswerving. The Suffragist, December 6, 1913. Wow. What a great picture. Oh my goodness. You can really see them. Truly outstanding. My goodness. I'm looking for a sign that says do not touch. Sorry. I couldn't help it. Wow. That is remarkable. It's not taught to students in history classes anymore. So weird. That is a very cold fence, though, I can tell you that. My hands are frozen now. My hand is frozen. That's amazing. Oh, look at this. I'm kind of heading around to the front to walk into the memorial from the front. Okay, these are people that donated to have this built, which is just so awesome. Oh, look, in honor of League Women Voters, Washington, D.C., Catherine Ray, Shauna G. Robbins, in honor of my friend Dr. Elizabeth Griffith, Cookie Roberts, in honor of Lindy Boggs. I'm just reading a few of them. Christine Robinson, Sonia Nichols Robinson, in honor of the 22 black women founders of the illustrious Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, who thought it not strange to challenge inequity, become symbols for innovation and stand for the rights of others. The Honorable Vivian E. Watts, Virginia delegate. Christine Weber, in memory of Lisa Small. Martha Wheelock, thank you, brave sister suffragists. Wild West Women Incorporated, National Women's History Alliance. Wild West Women Incorporated. All right. Wow. ARP donated. League of Women Voters of the United States National Women's Party, Nancy E. Tate, Patricia Depew Worth, and Gerald D. Worth. Somewhere between 10,000 and 24,999,000. Okay, so here we are at the front. $1 million legacy benefactor, Fairfax County. Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty? Mary Church Terrell, National Association of Colored Women. Oh, there's beautiful bird trees in here. I mean, bird houses in the trees. This is really very nice. Suffragist commemorative wall. really nice. Colorado, Natalie Gray Sheffer, May 1894 to August 1955, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Margaret Kessler, Dr. Caroline E. Spencer, Dorothy Bartlett, Catherine Flanagan, Minnie Hennessy, Helena Hill Weed. I'm reading them all. Annie Arneal, Florence Bayard Hillies, Mabel Vernon, Abby Scott Baker, Gertrude Crocker, Ruth Crocker, Washington District of Columbia, Edna Dixon, Catherine Fisher, Matilda Gardner, Anna K. Wiley, Mary A. Nolan, Lucy Ewing, Glickoff, Madeline Watson. Plan to post silent sentinels bearing emblems whom president must pass. Women suffragists representing all parts of the country disappointed over the result of an appeal which they made this afternoon to President Wilson in the East Room of the White House, held an indignation meeting and decided to adopt a new plan of campaign. They intend to post women pickets hereafter about the White House grounds. Their purpose is to make it impossible for the president to enter or leave the White House without encountering a picket bearing some device pleading the suffrage cause. The pickets will be known as silent sentinels. From January through November 1917, 91 silent sentinels peacefully demonstrated at the White House. They were among more than 160 suffragists who were jailed over the 7 decades of the suffrage movement. After the United States entered World War I, public opinion turned against them as their messages became more critical of the president. By June 1917, the silent sentinels were facing mob attacks and the first arrests. Obstructing traffic and loitering were the charges. We weren't doing either one of them. We were marching. There were only 4 of us. Oh, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Obstructing traffic and loitering? We weren't doing either one of them. We were marching. There were only 4 of us, we told them, so we couldn't possibly obstruct traffic. We were on the sidewalk. There was only 1 row of us. There was plenty of room. That was Ernestine Hare Kettler, Feminist History Research Project. Undeterred, the suffragists continued to demonstrate peacefully and to be arrested and imprisoned on fabricated charges, with few exceptions. They were held here in Lorton, Virginia, at the Occoquan Workhouse. They were housed in a dormitory-like structure, no longer in existence but located on these historic prison grounds. Some were incarcerated in the District of Columbia Jail, including Alice Paul, leader of the National Women's Party. Every conceivable lie was tried in an effort to force the women to abandon their various form of resistance. They were told that no efforts were being made from the outside to reach them, and that their attorney had been called off the case. Each one was told that she was the only one hunger striking. Each one was told that all the others had put on prison clothes and were working. Although they were separated from one another, they suspected the lies and remained strong in their resistance. Eunice Dana Brannon, jailed for freedom, 1920. Boy, does some of that sound familiar. Wow. Lots of folk been building these great memorials around D.C. When was this built? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll find out before we go. They suffered a great deal, and if it wasn't for them and those that continue this fight, we would not have come this far. So glad to see this memorial. I'm so grateful to bring it, child. Thank you. They were force-fed, right, Maggie Ray? So I'm going to continue to read the names. Nellie Barnes, Iris Calderhead Walker, Alice Cassou, Lucy G. Branham, Julia Emery, Gladys Grenier, Anna Vinter, Bertha Jackson, Nina Samorodin Ramuglia, Amelia Walker, Eleanor Callanan, Ella Feindyson, Louise Mayo, Agnes Morey, Catherine Morey, Pinkham, Camilla Whitcomb, Betsy Renault, Margaret Fay Whitmore, Mary Short, Ann Martin, Minnie Abbott, Allison Hopkins, Julia Hurlbut, Beatrice Kincaid, Alice Paul, Phoebe Scott, Edith Ainge, Hilda Bloomberg, Eunice Brannon, Lucy Burns, Emily Dubois Butterworth, Dorothy Day, Janet Fotheringham, Margaret Fotheringham, Frances Green, Elizabeth Hamilton, Ernestine Hara Kettler, Louise A.K. Lita Hornsby, Peggy Johns Conklin Colley, Paula Jacoby, Amy Jungling, Ada Kendall, Hattie Kruger, Maynard, Catherine Lincoln, Maud Malone, Vita Milholland, Elizabeth Rogers. When the forcible feeding was ordered, I was taken from my bed, carried to another room, and forced into a chair, bound with sheets and sat upon bodily by a fat murderess, whose duty it was to keep me still. Then the prison doctor, assisted by 2 women attendants, placed a rubber tube up my nostrils and pumped liquid food through it into the stomach. Miss Alice Paul, 1917. On November 14, 1917, which became known as the Night of Terror, a trainload of 33 suffragists was brought to the Occoquan workhouse. It seemed to me that everything had been done from the time we reached the workhouse to terrorize us, and my fear lest the extreme of outrage would be worked upon the young girls of our party became intense. It is impossible for me to describe the terror of that night. Eunice Dana Brannon, jailed for freedom, 1920. These women endured the most harrowing night in the long history of the suffrage movement. They were beaten, tortured, intimidated, threatened, and given no food or drink for 36 hours. Public reaction to their arrest, imprisonment, and brutal treatment contributed to a turning point in the suffrage movement. Hunger-striking militant suffragists were released yesterday, including Miss Lucy Burns, whom guards described as worth her weight in wildcats, Miss Alice Paul, who can throw a shoe 20 feet and hit a window every time, and Mrs. Lawrence Lewis, whose imitation of a siren has had the attendants dodging imaginary automobiles ever since she went to board at the district's expense. The Washington Post, November 28, 1917. All were ordered released by the end of November. Within 6 weeks, President Wilson addressed Congress to seek an amendment to the Constitution allowing women to vote. When all suffrage controversy has died away, it will be the little army of women with their purple, white, and gold banners going to prison for their political freedom that will be remembered. Doris Stevens, jailed for freedom, 1920. The end pillars of this wall feature an image of the jailed for freedom prison door pin designed by Alice Paul and awarded to each suffragist who had been imprisoned. The end pillars of this wall feature an image of the jailed for freedom prison door pin designed by Alice Paul and awarded to each suffragist who had been imprisoned. Belle Scheinberg, Doris Stevens, Elizabeth Stuyvesant, Cora Week, Rose Winslow Lyons, Joy Young, Matilda Young, Virginia Arnold, Kate Stafford, Alice Graham Robinson, Myrtle Betty Graham Swing, Lavinia Dock, Annie Doris, Kate C. Heffelfinger, Mary Ingham, Dora Lewis, Elizabeth McShane, Mary Windsor, Lucille Shields, Mary Minnie Quay, Laverne Robertson, Lucy Daniels, Pauline Adams, Maud P. Jameson. Wow. Got choked up. The horrors that one person can inflict upon another just makes no sense. Look at this. Gosh, I hope you can see. There you go. Carrie Chapman Catt, National American Women's Suffrage Association. Well, it's over here because they were brought to the Occoquan jail. Okay, so I wish I could read all of these, but I'm sure you can look up all of these and on Google if you'd like to know further. Under law shall not be equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state or account of sex, on account of sex. Amen. So that's where the white the white outfits come from. The Democrats seem to have adopted it, but it's really for women. The continued struggle for voting rights, 1920 to 2020, when this was put up. And it does continue. There's audio and text here as well. Oh, well here, I can do this and you can take a screenshot if you want to hear about it. Read it or hear about it. There's that one. When we turn DC into a destination. There's another one. This one, suffragists demonstrated until Congress passed the 19th Amendment in 1918 to 1919. Here's the QR code for that. Just take a screenshot and then you can, oh, well, I don't know how you do that. I don't know if you have two phones, maybe. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Not sure. Violent repression, the Night of Terror, 1917. Suffrage pickets chose prison, 1917. The buildings where suffragists were imprisoned here in Lorton, Virginia was torn down in the 1980s. So they were in prison right here in Lorton, Virginia. Closer. National Women's Party suffragists as prisoners. This nice bridge. Wow. Beautiful. The grounds are immaculate. Nonviolent protests at the White House gates, 1917. Suffragists gathered to picket the White House. Boy, these pictures are fantastic. Picketing continued regardless of the cold, sleet, rain, or intense heat. And the people came out to see, too. Wow. Mr. President, what will you do for women's suffrage besides put men in women's sports? Men acting as women in women's sports. What will you do, Mr. President, for women? Oh my goodness, they're on this side too. Oh no. 1916, a watershed year for women's suffrage. Alice Paul left, strategizing with publicist Helen Gardner. Women of Colorado, you have the vote. Get it for women of the nation by voting against. Their party opposes national women's suffrage. Woodrow Wilson and the Democrat candidate for Congress. So I would say the answer to that question earlier is probably yes, that Woodrow Wilson was Democrat. Carrie Chapman Catt using the then current technology. The 1913 suffrage parade captured national attention. Oh my goodness, look. Wow. Liberty. Ida B. Wells Barnett with her group at the suffrage parade. Women's Party, Cook County. Members of the Nu Delta Sigma Theta sorority at Howard University marched. Awesome. Wow. These pictures are amazing. Because we just read about that earlier and we get to see a picture. Male spectators cause a near riot at the 1913 parade. That's labor lawyer and suffragist Inez Milholland led suffrage parades in New York and Washington, D.C., where she represented the free woman of the future. This is really, really something. New life in state-by-state campaigns. Carrie Chapman Catt, national suffrage leader, overall leader of the New York suffrage campaign. Suffrage campaign losses. Harriet Stanton Blatch, leader in New York campaign. Suffragists selling pennants to raise awareness and money. As the left calls grifting. Can you believe this kind of crap still goes on today? Like it's 2020, it's the 21st century. 2023, and we still have to fight so hard for our rights. It's all been pretty clear, you know, and it's been made clear, and then we got to fight for it all over again. New leaders, new approaches. National American Women's Suffrage Association, 1890 to 1912. That's blacks, women, men, right, left, whatever. We all have to fight for our right to breathe and hold our place where we're standing, you know. I guess it's never ever going to stop. Lobbying Congress in large numbers was a key campaign strategy. Okay, take note again. Here we go. Repeat. Lobbying Congress in large numbers was a key campaign strategy. That is still the strategy today, only we're having trouble getting the large numbers. Suffrage campaign state by state, 1867 to 1898. Right, chilled? It's just like, duh. You know, they knew it then, and then now we got to relearn that. The more numbers, the better change we can have. The better chance for positive change. Testing constitutional amendments, court cases denied women's rights. The Daily Graphic and Illustrated Evening Newspaper. Oh, this is called the woman who dared. Hallelujah. It's Virginia Minor. Myra Bradwell. Just a couple more, and then we got to head to D.C. Building a political movement, 1865 to 1900. Susan B. Anthony. Julia Ward Howe. Lucy Stone with daughter Alice Stone Blackwell, who also became a suffrage leader. Mary Church Terrell, a major African American suffrage leader. Organizer Elizabeth Cady Stanton with daughter Harriet Blatch, who also became a suffrage leader. Well-known abolitionist Frederick Douglass participated. Convention leaders James and Lucretia Mott. Congress upper seating. Nurse D says Congress upper seating needs to be packed daily when they're in sessions to stop the BS we're witnessing. I couldn't agree more. I'm telling you, there's just a handful of us trying to do a whole lot, and you know, you can't do it all, and like earn a living and have the ability to be in DC every single day. And just to let you guys know, this is wild. This is really wild. I put 5,000 miles on my new vehicle in a month and a half. Going back and forth to DC, and then 3 field trips that are a little over an hour away. 5,000 miles in a month and a half. I mean, it takes a lot to do this. So if we have more and more people, then it can shuffle, you know what I'm saying? And stay full. But there's only a handful of us. That's it. When I've gone into the courtrooms, there's been 2 of us and sometimes 6 of us. But I've never more than 7 for the times that I've gone into court. Forward out of darkness, women on the margins of a new nation, 1776 and prior. Boy, that was fantastic. Dollar box. This should all be in paper. Isn't that pretty? Look at all the birdhouses in here. This is lovely. Right, Nurse D? So it's like not everybody can go. And so but if there was 100 people that can go and were willing to go, we could all like rotate, you know. But we don't even have that. We have what, 12? Sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes a few more, sometimes less. I really want to see this brick oven. I really do. Having an event, so I have to be quiet. It's a wedding. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at the bricks. Look at all the old bricks. Still stacked up from the last bake. Wow. They didn't even move them out from the last time. That's crazy. They just piled them up in there and That chimney. Wow. So these wrought iron. These are like wrought iron. Holding it all together, I guess. Like a giant barrel. Wow, that's fascinating. That is fascinating. Look, there's a wedding. Nice. The bride hasn't come out yet, but we have to go. My email is glorybees2022@gmail.com. glorybees2022@gmail.com. Thanks, Gloria. Well, they've been trying to erase the past. Might get a fuel for the top of this thing. Might be nice. I don't know. There's so much storage underneath. Once I get the chairs out of there, the stowaway chairs, I'll have tons of room. I'll check, Kim. Thank you. Oh. Leather seats, gotta love them. All right, that was really fascinating. I enjoyed that very much. I was there a lot longer than I thought I'd be. Oh my goodness. Absolutely fascinating. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome. So I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did, because I really did. I thought that was incredible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this live stream and just charge the phone on the way back to the vigil, or on the way to the vigil. So next stop, Congressional Cemetery, DC Gulag. You're so welcome, Yellow Rose. Oh, I'm so glad, Gloria. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad. Make sure you go back and see some of the Peep stuff. That was really cool. That was a great town. Occoquan was just fantastic. And the Peep displays, some of them were fantastic. There's a whole bunch of them you can see at once without watching the whole stream if you don't want to, at the town hall. So that was sort of more towards the end of being in Occoquan itself, the town. So, oh, I'm so glad, Sean. This should be discussed at the vigil, right? About, you know, like why are we having to do things all over again that people already died, suffered for, and died to do and accomplished, and then we're having to do it all over again. But that's like anything, like when you get a bill passed, and then like if it's for expansion of you know, services and appropriation of funds, you know, then it's like you have to get on. So it passed into it passed, and then you have to get on to them about actually getting the money that they promised you. It's crazy. It's like a never-ending battle. It's just absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. It makes me nuts. Okay, let's put some more water in our tea. Tell the guys in the gulag about the ladies of 1900, right, Maggie Ray? Oh my goodness, because they're amazing. But I mean, I think that they just get frustrated because it's like what's so obvious is just we need more numbers. We need more numbers. Why does the mayor side with the goon squad? Because the goon squad copies the mayor on everything. All their little whinies, they copy to the mayor of DC. And so it's like, you know, well, maybe I'll start copying the mayor on everything, you know, so that she can get all sides. Unless they're her people, which I don't know for sure, but they copy her on a lot of their complaints about us and everything. It's just crazy. And sometimes they lie. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? So, but the left, what they have known is that you have to be a well-oiled machine. You have to be well organized. You've got to have the numbers. You got to make a lot of noise, and you got to do it consistently. And so if the conservatives want to get something done, you know, we hate to follow suit, but we better at least follow that. Which is why I'm out here on the ground, because most conservatives aren't. Hello. Yeah, she's a whole nother story, chilled. I won't be sending her anything because honestly, it'll probably just, they take everything and twist it. The left side just seems to be taking everything and twisting it. So no, I will not be copying her on any of my stuff. I don't even want her to know my name. She needs to know Ashley Babbitt's name, but she doesn't need to necessarily know mine. All right, so I'm already shifting gears. Isn't that great? You can like hear it happening. The mayor about the ladies of the 1900 tell her she is repeating what was done to the guys. Right. You know, it's just the darndest thing. So strange. All right, you guys, I'm going to end this, and I will see y'all shortly in DC. God bless you all. Thank you so much for enjoying this as much as I do. And share it out to anybody who you think would be interested. I'll try to make some clips of the high points of the peeps, and I'll do that later and put those out in case you want to send them to anybody, because that's pretty fun. And I will keep this video up on YouTube, so the whole thing will be available as well as shorts later. See you in a little bit. God bless y'all. Glory be to God.